Hey, everybody!
It's the regular season finale of That Fantasy Show.
Hey, I am your friendly local neighborhood YouTuber, Michael Amen, joined by
Brian Wilczek and two very special guests. Say your name. It's Archer.
and Miss Ella, of course.
Hi.
And If you're a fan of the show, we're going to kick this off like we usually do. Miss Ella, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's roll.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
America.
Is that over or under 30 seconds? What's the over under?
I don't know. I didn't actually time that out. I would have took the over on that.
Took the over.
She's getting real meticulous with that. Want to make sure everybody gets every detail.
Bye, people. Have a wonderful day.
Miss Ella, stay here for one quick second. We are going to pull up your record, as Ella is going to take off earlier than the show will end, as usual. But we wanted to bring up how you've done on your pick six. Ella, look at this on the screen. You've picked from 100 games, and you've won half and lost half, and you're just 6 years old. You just jumped into this. You didn't know anything. What do you think about that, Brian?
Pretty good. Like
Pretty
a coin
good.
toss, but
It's
learning
just
as
like
we
a
go.
coin toss, but, that could have went terribly bad.
Yeah.
Just thinking of how,
100 coin flips, land right 50-50.
and then, even just trying to pick games, not knowing how you could just pick a severe underdog and not even know. She went 50-50 on the whole year. Ella, that's a wonderful job. Please.
You're welcome.
Round of applause. We got the sound effects today.
Thank you, Miss Ella. Again, season finale of the show. My 6-year-old daughter came on, and every week she picked 6 games. And there was even one week where she picked 10 games, if you remember the Thanksgiving week. She had that whole Thursday, Friday slate, and then she still did 6 the Sunday after that.
Turkey Day special.
Still ended up 50-50. Again, I can't overstate how proud I am of that, Miss Ella. I love you, and thank you.
Ella's pick 6.
Thank you, Ella. You're
Featuring
free
Ella.
to do as you like.
Please have a wonderful day, people.
You better have a good day.
Good day, people.
You're going to upset Ella. Thank you, Ella. Okay.
Here we are.
So here we are, the season finale, Brian.
Yeah.
We made it the whole season. We set out with a goal. Let's cheers to that. We set out with a goal, brother, and here we are.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, season finale.
What a roller coaster.
Definitely been a roller coaster. You ain't lying there.
But we've been consistent. We've been here every week.
Consistency matters.
18 episodes. We had a bye week. We doubled up on Thanksgiving week. Even 18, just like the NFL season.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, we've been out here, and that's what you got to do. We were talking before the air. You're not going to get nothing unless you're out here giving something, So we're giving a lot of effort to this, and who knows? We'll see where it goes, but we're rolling right along. So what do you want to take a look at first, Mr. Brian?
Man, we got a lot of stuff queued up today.
We got some stuff lined up, ready to go.
How about we look at some stats for the show?
Let's take a look at that. Since that fantasy show, this is his first year in existence, we started our journey. I believe the date was August 12th. I started a YouTube channel. I've technically had the channel for other purposes, but we started a channel. And strictly fantasy football content, but we're a couple family guys, so we got our kids in it. I think our pets have been in this a few times. You may have heard some of them in the background.
You might have heard them trotting upstairs last week.
But this one that's on the screen right now, this one I'm the most proud of. This is the geography of our stats and where we are on the planet. And I hope everybody can read this at home. Obviously, the most of our viewers come from the United States, as we are filming out of Detroit, Michigan. But Canada, you would expect that. Canada's about 20-30 minutes away, wouldn't you say?
Canada?
Probably got a couple guys from Windsor or something.
Yeah.
India coming in at 3rd place. We have viewers in India. We have viewers in the United Kingdom, Iraq, Algeria, Turkey, Indonesia, Pakistan, and rounding out the list that wouldn't fit in the graphic, even the Philippines. We're international, dude.
Here, let's take a little look at this layout.
Oh my God. There we go right there. Put that up for the people. Take a look at that.
There it is.
I'm going to round of applause that. I'm going to straighten up.
Only
and sit in my chair a little
2/3.
bit.
Only 2/3 of viewers have been in the United States.
So that means 1/3 of the viewer is international?
Yeah.
We're out
1/3.
here, dude. We're out here.
We might not have many viewers, but we're spread out.
And it is what it is. And, I wouldn't have expect a reach like that, even if that's just someone typically scrolling on the phone while they're using the restroom like most people do, and they're just in Pakistan and, oh, hey, I wonder what those guys are up to, or hey, that looks cool, or even those guys look stupid or silly. Cool, I'm glad we entertained you that way. If I entertain people that way, I don't care. I've looked like a fool once or twice in my life. But we're international, so that's a big stat right there, Brian. We should be proud of that. Iraq, I mean, come on.
What else we got queued up?
But anyway, this is our views, and we are at 8,890 something views. We've been doing this for about 4 months. Almost 9,000 views for 4 months. I will take that. Yeah, as you can see right there. And
we're peaking in the beginning of the season. We had a steady decline, but we kind of plateaued. So we're consistent. I don't know. We got to throw the content out there.
Well, most of that in the beginning is the shorts, and we were doing obviously a lot for our draft, so that was huge. But
snag this cat off the table.
You're good, brother. I'm on this. But again, so most of it is the shorts, and we were doing a lot of preview stuff and with our draft, and we were getting some early content out there. But to know that we've reached, that's creeping up on 10,000 views. So, if you'd have told me ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to be right around 10,000 views, I'll take that. There's the culprit right there. That's our buddy. He's always curious when we're down here, and I like that. Like I said, again, we're a family show. I kind of pride myself on that.
Curiosity killed the cat, not this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not that one. It was funny the one time he was just up there on the stairs, and he was just like locked in on me the whole time.
Oh yeah, he's up on the pile of Halloween boxes.
This is his house. I'm just a guest. But anyway, almost 10,000 views. I'm proud of that. We got a couple other slides there. We can go ahead and take a look at those, Brian. This is our watch time hours. So again, YouTube grades you certain, and then most of our hours, obviously with our show, we need people locked in a little longer than just a 60-second long short. 246 watch time hours. I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Solid.
Very solid. Like I said, don't know what that means compared to other people, but we're rolling. That means, we're getting people watching us.
That's 10 days of watch time.
Oh my God, that's lit.
10 days.
10 full days. I'll take that. Anyway, there's on the left there, that's our most viewed content. Obviously, week 13 of the fantasy show. That was the most popular one.
Lucky 13. Hey, we got some Taylor Swift fans out there.
I believe that one had Damian Grimm and Ben Phillips as guests as well.
That was the beginning of the logo wall.
I think that was our first foray into the guests, too.
Nice.
So anyway, we branched out. We started getting some guests, some Skype calls. There's our age demographic. Obviously, our bang zone right there is the 25 to 34 age bracket, but anywhere typically from 18 to 44. That's pretty much the bulk of our viewers, and we even got some viewers over 65. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. 18 to 44. That's accounting for nearly 90% of our viewers. So there's the demographic. That's what we're going after.
And that's most of the people that play fantasy football right there. And then if those other graphics right there, if they're starting to take a likeness to that and we're growing the game, oh my God, that's an honor. So again, thankful for every single bit of viewers or subscribers or anything like I'm really appreciative for all of this. I didn't expect it. I wanted it. Obviously this was a goal to do numbers like this and better, but did I really think it was possible? At the end of the day, no, man, I'm just a regular dude. I still got to go to work.
Yeah. This is a Sunday morning commitment right now. A few hours here and there during the week, setting the content up. Obviously, we put a lot into the production effort here with the set design. The logo wall the jersey wall has grown throughout the show. We added a little bit. We got Skelly's head in here. He's taking a break from Halloween, so this is his off season, just chilling on the table.
Absolutely. Man. Just the complete growth of the show, which that's been beautiful to see too, how we started. It was just me and Ella with them last second changes, getting us kicked off in week 1 to where we're at right now.
Ooh, and this one, interesting graphic showing a lot of non-subscribers are watching the show. They're watching the content.
And I'll take that too. However, clicking that subscribe button, that helps us out the best. So if we were able to get people to click that button, that's what's going to take this show further, because we obviously want sponsorship and means to make this bigger. We can make this more professional, more bigger. Maybe if those people could click that subscribe button, but hey, 40-ish% of our viewers not subscribed. That's cool. Maybe we just got to be a little better and they'll subscribe. So
gender side, we got to crack into that non-binary market. We haven't had a view from them yet. We're looking for they, them.
What do you think of
We're
almost
supportive.
20% of the female content?
That's pretty good. I'll take 1 in 5 females watching
And
the
that's
show.
20% of, again, the total views. So 20% of almost 9,000 views. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That means we got some females out here.
And to round it out.
And then again, there's the geography
Yeah.
graphic again. I'm so proud of that my reach is more than just Detroit or Cleveland, which is where my hometowns are. We're out here, Brian.
We're out here.
I really like that. That fantasy show.
Specifically, we're down here in the basement.
But we're doing our thing, man. We set out with a goal, and a lot of guys have goals like this. There's a lot of guys that just sit around and talk sports, and they do fantasy, and they bet on football, and they got wives and kids and stuff, and some people want to do this, but it's not easy, as we found out this season.
I mean, you started off, you had good intentions. You were filming straight off of the phone. You had rigged it up so you could get the soundboard.
I
into the
literally made
iPhone.
that work.
Yeah, that shit worked.
I literally made this soundboard and these microphones work with an iPhone 8, and I brought you week 1 off of this live from the iPhone 8 in 2024.
You had the screen in the background. Couldn't read it. We knew what you were talking about, though. I came in week 2, like, man, I'll do that show with you. That'd be cool.
Bro, and that was the best part of this, because, I needed a little help, and then obviously what better help than family help? Who could be more committed than, dude, we're already families, we married sisters, like, what are we going to do? Like, it would have been, it's a little easier to pull this off than to have a buddy sit here and, okay, dude, 18 out of 19 weeks, we're going to sit here and pull the show off on a Sunday morning, when you could be sleeping in, especially in a day like today. What's the temperature outside right now?
Oh,
It's like 15 degrees
it's a
out
little
here.
nipply out there.
I didn't want to get out from under the blanket this morning, but
Here's telling us 18 degrees.
yeah, I'm locked and loaded, man. This was my goal. This is what I wanted to do, and again, thank you for joining in and sharing the same goal. This is obviously I didn't twist your arm into this. Like,
No,
you want to
this
do
is
this.
fun.
So
Thanks for
and then
having me.
just the gleam in your eye, like seeing you want to do this, like you have a genuine want to do this. You're not just helping me, like you're doing this for you, and then we're doing this together, and it's great. And then Brian, just to give Brian a lot of credit, Brian does a lot of work with the production stuff with the computer thing. We can both sit here and study stats and this and that, and anybody can sit here and know how to talk about sports, but a lot of the things Brian do behind the scenes, I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that.
Thanks.
With what we got to do to get all this to come together, that's not for everybody. Everybody ain't figuring that out.
Hey, let's give you a pat in the back, too, for holding down the vocals of the show.
My pleasure.
I could talk here and there, but I can't hold down an hour time slot.
My
Mike over
pleasure.
here, he can just go and go, and it's all good.
I can talk for
All
days.
good. That
We're a good
podcast
team.
back.
That's just proof positive. We're a good team, and teams help each other out.
And if you thought this season's been all right, just get ready for next season. We're having some hardware troubles at the moment. We've made some upgrades throughout the show. We went from the iPhone straight up cameraing at the thing to using the streaming software. Still with the iPhone, but we got a webcam now that's capable of much more than what you're seeing right now. It's just we have a little hardware bottleneck throttling the limits of the show at the moment, but we're planning to sort that out.
Absolutely.
And we'll get into the advertising of the show. We'll get the shorts, we'll get the reels, we're gonna hype it up.
Big plans for next year.
Yeah.
Big plans. Now I feel like we're going to be professionals for next year.
Yeah.
And then
We'll be looking good.
again, besides next year, stay tuned for the Ultra Mega Super Bowl special
Ultra mega
that we have coming up. We are going to do a live show for the Super Bowl, not 10 in the morning. I'll tell you what, I'm not waking up at 10 a.m. that day. We don't have to capture an audience
Super
at
Bowl
that time.
Sunday. What's the date on the Super Bowl? February what this year?
Man, I don't know the date, and I don't know what time we're going to go live, but we're going to go live, and we don't know the exact specifics of the show. There may be a hot dog eating contest, I've heard. I don't know how we're going to pull that off, but
Yeah, we could do some alternate segments on the show.
and then we may have a couple special guests for that. But anyway, the Ultra Super Mega Bowl special, that's the next time you're going to see us. We will,
Sunday, February 9th. Mark it on your calendar.
and we're still going to talk fantasy a little bit for that. We're going to obviously, there's going to be some fantasy implications in that
Yeah,
game.
there'll be some off-season moves that are already sorted out by then. I'm sure we'll see.
and we'll do a preview into the off season, and we'll get you lined up. Some people do Dynasty like us. They may need to know what's going on, and some people, they may just want to be prepared. And either way, if you're a fan of us, check out the Super Bowl. We're going to have a great special. Miss Ella's going to be great.
You can do a
Can't wait for the Super Bowl.
AA college football playoff recap as well.
Oh,
Throw
that's
that
great.
in there. Yeah.
College football playoffs rolling right along. We're down to the Final Four there.
Man, speaking of that, those matchups, it's first round, every home team won. Okay? Everyone that hosted a game won. Then, everyone that had a bye lost.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It almost means you didn't even want the bye. I was kind of upset the way the seeding worked. And obviously my Buckeyes couldn't get a bye. Because clearly they look like they deserved one of the byes.
I mean, you're welcome for firing your team up. I think that Michigan loss really just...
You're exactly right. I wish I could disagree with you. Because normally the Ohio State and Michigan us, I don't want to agree with anything about that.
Yeah, I mean...
But man, we needed that.
Previous years, that a loss means you're out. You're done. Not this year.
It kills a little value in the game, to be honest. Because I kind of liked that game held that kind of weight. If you lost this game, you're done.
But
you're done, son.
You can go out, you can beat Tennessee, Oregon, and then the eventual Texas. Texas, right?
Texas, we play
next on the
Texas
slate.
next.
I mean,
I'm
if
going to
you
go
can
ahead and
out-
do this
Yeah.
right now,
Fourth
and we're just
down.
going to put this out here.
We can agree on that one.
Okay, thank you for that. You actually did some time in Texas there too. You
A little
didn't,
bit.
but,
Texas, I was at the Aggies side of things, so
but that's a great school. Longhorns, congratulations to them. I'm not too putting other people down all like that. Texas is a good school.
I don't know. It's just too easy.
I didn't think we could make it this far after that Michigan game. The offense looked stale, but now we realized
I mean,
throw
you,
it to number
you
4.
play into your strengths, and look what happens.
Yep.
You can go out there and win.
Throw it to number 4. That's all you need to do. So
But I don't know. Maybe the buy for those top 4 teams, that might hurt them. Not playing every week.
I think that hurts everybody. Don't you agree?
Yeah. So I mean, looking at that in the future, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, you can't take one for what statistic value that has,
Right.
but I mean, it happened. It was a unanimous loss from all the bye weeks,
Yeah.
all the bye teams. I mean, maybe one of them you can argue shouldn't have had a bye, but the other
Yeah.
teams, I mean, you got Georgia.
The Arizona
losing,
State game was
Oregon
exciting, though.
Yeah, that one was exciting. The Arizona State, I was pulling for them. They made
Yeah.
quite the comeback. That was a wild game.
That
If you watched
was
it,
a great game.
they only had like sliver percentage chance to win. They run that thing to overtime, making 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. That one dude is basically viral from that game, just fucking out here just going
I was
hard.
about to say fantasy implications on that. Cam Scadaboo, yeah, he's on my radar.
Dude's a baller.
Next year. Yeah,
He's committed.
he's a baller. So, yeah, fantasy implications. I'm looking into that guy. But, the college playoffs been fun. I think there was too many teams added, obviously. In that first round, there was a couple blowouts. Some people just look like they don't deserve. There's a reason why the best teams look like the best teams. Everybody just thinks their team is the best team. You're not. Usually, every year, there's about 4 or 5 teams. These are the best teams. You're giving everybody else a shot. We're just might as well hand out participation trophies, and it's crazy. But anyway, fantasy implications. There's a lot of players right now that are making a name for themselves, and for dynasty people drafting, you got your eyes on a couple people in these things, because these are going to be the next guys that are on people's rosters. So
Just trying to get the browser going in the background here.
you're good, brother. Let me know where we're going to go next, then, man. I'll hold us down. What you think? You want to take a look at standings or season rankings? We were going to take a look at winners of both of our fantasy leagues. The Closing with Steve League has came to a conclusion, and also the First and Goal League has completed for this year. We just want to congratulate those champions as well. That Closing with Steve League, man, that is a gauntlet. There is some tough competition in that league.
Yeah, we can verbalize that one. I mean, we had a rematch between myself and Gary, the Haddonfield Slashers versus the Allenville Bean Machine. Great name, by the way.
Great name.
Love The Longest Yard. But
It's a good movie.
yeah, I was feeling pretty confident going in, and then find out Wednesday, CeeDee Lamb shut down for the season. I've already had a decimated receiving core. I don't know. I made some good moves. I picked up Thielen. He comes out here, puts 2 touchdowns, like 100 yards, some crazy stats. I'm like, I'm feeling all right.
That was a great week.
And then going into Sunday night, I got Achan and Jacobs going. I'm like, all right, these have been my guys all year. And they combined for like 15 points. Like, come on, dude. And then I have to root against my hometown Lions. Like, all right, win, but don't win that crazily, right?
Right.
Against the Niners. People called it a meaningless game, but there were obviously a lot of implications from last year's loss in the NFC Championship game. So we're out for blood. We know Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
This guy, he's going to...
I'm glad they played that like
Yeah.
that. I'm glad that he was like that, because like it goes with what you just said a second ago with taking a buys. If you take your foot off the pedal, your foot's off the pedal.
Yeah.
Like you want to be all gas. Keep going. Anyway, like I said too earlier in the season, that Buffalo loss when I actually called that the fantasy show, got a plus odds bet, right?
There you go.
I think that was good for them because that refired the Lions up. It killed that win streak. It relit a fire. I like the Lions tonight. Big game tonight. But I do like them, but it ain't gonna be easy. You gotta earn it. Again, that's a tough division too. But anyway, back in that Closing with Steve league, you two gentlemen made the finals again. Maybe next year someone else will make the finals in this league. But hey, like I said, you gotta earn it. And you two guys, you guys definitely earned it. And how about Gary? The second year in a row, the 6th seed, making the final. And this year, going ahead and getting over the hump and winning.
I won as the underdog last year. And Gary got his as the underdog. He had a 6-8 record, losing record. In the 10-team format, we had a 6-team playoff, so it allowed a losing record to get in there and win the whole thing.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you still got to go out there and ball. So congrats, Gary.
Gary.
We gotta have a tiebreaker next year. No offense to everybody else.
Well, and again, like I said, you got to earn it in that league, and Gary never gave up, and you're never out of it. That just goes to show some people, it's a fantasy roller coaster. You get up and down on your team. You're not out of it. Clearly, that gentleman was not out of it. He put his best foot forward every week, and look where it took him. So if you're into fantasy and you're riding the roller coaster, just know if you're down, you can easily be up. Just still give your best effort. That goes to life, too. Just give your best effort out here, man.
Man.
I don't know. Like I said, life's a roller coaster too, just like fantasy football. You're gonna be up and down. Still, everything is required that you give your best effort. But anyway, Gary Vroom Jr. of the Vroom Team Real Estate Team too. I love these guys. Century 21 Real Estate Agents. If you need anything in real estate done, you're looking to sell your house, you're looking to buy a house. These are the guys that I would talk to. Wonderful, good friends of ours. We worked with Gary again. Gary is also a guy who closed with Steve, so he understands what's going on. But there was no repeat champion, which I know one of us planned on at least being the champion. It didn't work out, but would have been cool for the show to sit here and be like, yeah, one of these is our trophy and stuff. But no. And again, this wasn't an actual trophy we were giving away. This is the one I earned in 2005.
Check out last week's show recording for more information on that.
Yeah. If you do check out last week's show, thank you for that too, because the audio was a little brutal on that. Again, another learning experience.
We switched over to the webcam. Turns out the webcam has its microphone of its own, mind of its own, if you will. It's picking up footsteps there, conversations going on.
I was watching tape, getting ready to take my notes at home, and I'm like, wait a minute, something is off here. So anyway, we figured that out. Again, like I said, learning experience for the show. But again, Closing with Steve leave came to a complete. And we'll get ready for the draft. We'll probably do a draft special for that because that's big for us because we need to know where players are going because then that starts letting you start jockey where you want to pick people from. Okay, if this guy's going to a good situation, maybe he's on my radar, but maybe if he's going to a terrible situation, I'm out. So again, even though me and Brian may go off the wire a little here and sometimes, I'm still always thinking fantasy purposes. And I don't pick till 8th next year, but I got my eye on somebody for that pick, and then we'll just go from there. We'll see how this thing shakes out.
Somebody.
Yeah, always like I said, I got such a sports brain, dude. I'm like locked in. I know what time stuff's going on almost every day of the week. So
I'm struggling with the window capture, but
so what should I do? What you want me to go from here?
I think I can pull it out on the Fantrax capture. I can share this window.
Let's
Other
see what
one's
we
not
got.
working well today.
Yeah, again, like I said, we're gonna limp through this episode, but we're definitely finishing out the season. There was definitely no thought of quit But I said we might not have our best product right now. We might not be our week 13 selves right now, but
Yeah,
week
we peaked
18.
in high school this season.
But week 18 self, we're still pretty good. Like I said, we got to put forth that effort out here.
Well, let me just show you what I'm working on. So we got the fan track thing going.
There's our final standings from the regular season. And then obviously the draft won't shake out like that. The draft will go basically just like an NFL draft based off of the standings and how the playoffs went. So the non-playoff teams are obviously going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then from there on, it'll just shake out how it went. I'm going to be picking 8th as you and Gary, again, will be picking 9 and 10, just flip-flopping.
They moved up one position in the draft.
Yeah, and then there was some trades already, so yeah, definitely want to look into that.
Let's
for
take
sure.
a look at the player pool here. So we can use this to look at our end of season rankings.
I like that.
So let's take a look.
I like that. So if you would have been at the beginning of the season and told me what the end of the season tops charts would look like, I would have been like, no way, dude. Did you get into my stash? What are you talking about? There's no way that went down like that.
So in our league, the scoring format that we use, Joe Burrow, #1 overall quarterback.
That may just be, that's like a weekly thing. I think that may just be
My bad, homie.
for 1 week. No, you're good. Switch in that bracket over to the left there a little
I
bit.
gotcha.
Week 17. Oh, from
I got
start
the
of
click here.
season. Yeah. No, that's good because we wanted to look at this. So, again, this is it exactly right here. I studied this list last night. This is our tops quarterback list right here. So, obviously, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I would have believed that. You told me they were top 3, especially people didn't have Burrow top 3, but I did. But Baker Mayfield and Jaden Daniels, 4 and 5. You probably could have got those people on the waiver wire after the draft. Wouldn't you agree, Brian?
I did get Baker Mayfield on the waiver wire in our Dynasty League.
Proof positive right there. So when a lot of people were drafting and obviously those guys are ahead of Mr. Patrick Mahomes there, who was a lot of people's top pick. Fantasy is a little different than real life. Obviously, even whether that's for football or whether that's these little weird games or whatever, it's different. But anyway, that tops list right there, that's kind of some of it's shocking. Bo Nix being right under Patrick Mahomes. Hey, congratulations to that
If you
fellow.
told me the highest ranked rookie or the second highest ranked rookie would be Bo Nix, I'd be like, you're crazy. Jane Daniels, I foresaw that going into the season.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, like I personally would have picked Daniels over Caleb Williams, but Bo Nix had come in there and break the top 10. That's been the real breakout in the quarterback rookie draft class.
And then this just goes to show that you can get value at this position. So even though quarterbacks are typically the highest scoring fantasy players, you can still get value at this position. Again, Joe Burrow was going in rounds 9 and 10. Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels weren't drafted. Baker Mayfield wasn't drafted. Sam Darnold probably wasn't drafted. You could have got Brock Purdy in later
Darnold,
rounds.
Definitely waiver acquisition as well as Baker Mayfield.
Caleb Williams, Geno Smith, guys like so there's value at this position.
Let's look at the overall fantasy leaders for the season, just to put the quarterbacks into perspective.
Again, it's a quarterback heavy list.
Like your top 5 are quarterbacks, and generally when you go into a fantasy league and you're drafting, you're going running back or receiver first, quarterback later. But they end up being the highest scoring position in the sport for fantasy purposes. However, since we just mentioned, you could pull some of these guys off waivers. Baker came off waivers. Sam Darnold's a waiver guy. So you could get a top 10 score off of waivers. That's one thing that in my mind reinforces don't go too heavy on a quarterback in your draft. I mean, if you're picking Josh Allen, that's a different story. But just in general, I like to go get my positions filled up outside of quarterback.
Absolutely.
I'll round out a quarterback last.
Yeah, it's much more thinner at the other positions. That's why those positions have more value. So again, for people that think, okay, I gotta have this quarterback because he scores the most points, relax. You could still probably get him in your draft a little later than you think. So if you want Mahomes, that's your guy. Okay, you can probably get Mahomes around 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want, Burrow, that's your guy. You can still get him around 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
There's still value waiting for quarterback. So again, for people that just got into this and going into next year, like I said, you can wait a little on a quarterback, or if there's a guy you can't miss, Lamar Jackson, you gotta have him. He's obviously the highest scoring guy right there. Okay, there's nothing wrong with go ahead and getting him there too, but you may be thinner at other positions. So anyway, that's the overall. We'll take a look at the running backs real quick, because a lot of this was chalk. A lot of the top charts, it's guys I expected, but then there's a few guys I didn't expect.
Yeah, so check this out. I mean, I think your only first round talent towards the top of the list in terms of fantasy drafts this past year, Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he was a first round in most leagues. But then you look at these other guys, Barkley, Robinson was he was a consensus top 3 pick. And look, he only ended up being 3 in just the running backs.
Yeah, so those top 4, I would say this year, by the end of round 2, they were all gone. Maybe people got Barkley little bit later.
I think Williams was, 3rd, 4th round type guy. So that was one of the dudes that really broke out into this year's list. Even Barkley might have been 2nd round
and again,
in most leagues.
Just like we talked about with quarterback, there's some value here too, because there was a lot of big guys. But look at some of these names,
Brown,
like
number 10. That's a big
Chase
one.
Brown.
I know you want to hype him up.
People weren't drafting him, and I knew about him all year. I did some research. Again, I'm a Bengals fan. Obviously, I got my eyes on this, but the same research that I looked up, it was easily available to any other fantasy player. And then again, I recommended this to a guy earlier, and he went to his final. He didn't win his championship, but Chase Brown was his number 1 running back. Chuba Hubbard, you probably could have got him cheap. Joe Mixon, he was on a decline. You could have got him cheap. Bucky Irving.
That dude undrafted in most leagues.
Exactly.
Coming out here top 15 over Breece Hall, a top 3 pick overall.
Exactly. So some people do their research based off of the top guys.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but then they don't care
you gotta
after
have
that.
The sleeper picks like in your back pocket.
Exactly.
Those last few rounds, don't waste them. Like do a little research. You could throw a few darts. Someone's gonna hit.
And if you used your value, okay, in scenarios where you didn't pick a running back as high, and you could have got some of these receivers as we've switched over to this list. So these are obviously the most valuable position in fantasy to me. Maybe you could argue.
Yeah, so the top 5, 4 of those dudes probably went off in the first round in your
100%.
league. Then you got a rookie, Brian Thomas Jr. Another rookie, Malik Neighbors.
So Neighbors, I would have expected.
Yeah.
What do you think about Brian Thomas Jr.?
He's
What's
on
your
this
thought?
garbage football team, aka the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's coming out here top 4 receiver.
And they just
scoring.
chuck it up to him. The dude just runs, and
Yep.
and every time I'm sitting there watching the red zone on Sunday, I see this dude scoring a touchdown. He single-handedly is the reason why I lost in the matchup that I was in. I was going fine just right along. He had 2 points in the 3rd quarter, and then all of a sudden he finished the game with 30 points.
This is the last 2 weeks.
What can I do?
Last 2 weeks, this guy's doing this. And I think Gary has him on early.
He did, and he probably went drafted pretty low in most leagues to possibly undrafted. But again, it just goes to show
if you look at these top
there is some value.
rookie receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, you probably would have figured he'd be up here. Lad McConkey, this guy, you weren't sure about him.
Mhm.
Harbaugh going over to the Chargers, you thinking run heavy. Lad's out here doing lad things.
And you know what's missing from this list?
Marvin
What's
Harrison
missing from this
Jr.
list is Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr., the number 1 consensus wide receiver coming out of the draft.
Consensus rookie coming out of the
Yeah.
draft.
And a lot of that was how we spoke about how they just don't use the dude right. If you weren't going to use the dude like that, then draft somebody else. They could have drafted an offensive lineman and helped their team better. They could have drafted a defensive lineman or a cornerback and helped their team better. You picked this dude. Like they didn't use him right like the other people obviously used their rookies right there, which goes to show if you're in the right situation, you'll flourish.
Some other things to note on the list. Jackson Smith and Jigba, number 8 there. I mean, going into the year, you think DK Metcalf's going to be the guy. And
Here's another Buckeye.
Yep, Smith and Jigba out there. Devontae Adams, 15th. He had like a phantom hamstring injury and got traded to another team. Still finished 15.
Those New York doctors, man.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was a little too late kind of story for him.
Absolutely.
All his big numbers towards the end, once your record's probably in the shitter. So
I was gonna say too, yeah, let's scroll up. What do we got right here? Surprisingly on that list right there, yeah, T. Higgins and who's the other name I seen down there? I'm sorry. T. Higgins was right there with somebody, and
Jordan
Tyreek Hill.
Addison as well.
These would have been guys that were much higher on people's lists, especially Mr. Tyreek Hill. Again,
Specifically in our league, I mean, you got a bunch up right here. The California Wildfire.
yeah.
Those three, and he's got 4 top 20 receivers. 5 of them, because he's got Jefferson too. 5 top 20 receivers. You can't start 5 receivers, but man, I gave away
man.
Addison for a tight end.
I
We'll
guess
get to
that guy knows receivers,
Yeah, I guess he does.
as in our league.
I'll take the running back.
That's
crown,
a
but,
famous saying. I know receivers. The
Let's
last
switch
owner.
over to tight end.
Tight end again. This one shocking.
For the second year in a row,
Shocking.
we have a rookie atop the list. Last year, Sam Laporta came out #1 tight end in fantasy. This year, Brock Bowers.
Nobody predicted that. Everybody told me this dude was going to be good, but they didn't say he was going to be tight end number 1.
I might have had a hint.
Tight end number 1.
Hint of
And
a
then,
feeling.
so not just because I picked this guy, but look at number 4 right there, Jonnu Smith. I picked him up like week 9 or 10.
Yeah, waiver dude coming out here.
I don't even
lighting
know
it up.
how that was possible. He was under the radar, and then the guy that I had, he's not even on this list that I'm looking right there, and I studied the hell out of that guy. But again, just goes to show this list is like throwing a dart.
Yep.
I just throw a
But you
dart at
wanna-
the board, and I'll pick that guy.
You want to changing gears a little. The Pro Bowl, or the first team All Pro selections, kind of a popularity contest in my opinion. I saw Kelsey made first team All Pro. Don't agree with that. Not this year, the way they performed. He kind of got going towards the end of the season, but definitely some better options.
That's a
out
good
there.
use for that sound effect.
Yeah.
Say that again. Travis Kelce, first team All Pro.
Nah, not agreeing with that.
Disagree, however, maybe
Swifties pulled him in.
forever. But again, that's just that list. It's kind of crazy. A lot of people had Andrews high. At least he still finished there in the top 10. Tucker Kraft coming out of nowhere. That's a little surprising.
Kickers. This is a crapshoot.
Kickers again. This like
We
he
saw the
just said,
decline
yeah.
of Justin Tucker this year. Who
Eh,
would have thought?
And he was getting drafted higher in some rounds. I believe in one of the leagues the first and goal league. This dude went like 10th.
Free
Again,
agent now.
kickers. I don't want to say they don't matter, but that's like a
Don't
30
put
to
stock
40
into 'em.
point
Don't-
difference.
Don't put draft stock in them.
So the defenses matter. A lot of people like to stream. However, if you got a pretty good one, you can sit and be consistent.
I don't think Minnesota, that one was on and off the waivers all season. Denver, probably the same thing.
And Buffalo was projected to be, towards the top. I didn't own them all year. I added them later. Seattle looks a little surprising to me. The Chargers, I kind of like that. But again, like I said, so there's not a huge point difference there. That's only a 60, 70 point difference from 1 to like, what is that? Maybe 18. So, I mean, defenses are pretty consistent. Obviously, you just want a team that's a better team. You don't want to
Yeah.
pick a defense of a
Matchup
4 and
based.
12 team.
However, in mini league fantasy championships last week, the #1 consensus defense to start was the Indianapolis Colts against the Giants, because
That's
the
crazy.
Colts put up, or the Giants let up the weekly high to the team they faced previously. So a lot of people are streaming Colts, and you come out here and these
Yeah.
0, bro.
Yeah.
They did nothing. They cost people championships.
Yeah.
Someone upstairs included. So
Yeah, and that goes to show streaming, it's got its ups and downs. Streaming over consistency, again, that's just going to be a personal preference what you're going to do. So
yeah.
you can make an argument either way there. That one's tough. I always like when we get to this one of the background music. It shows we're about 40-ish minutes in, rolling right along.
What do you say we talk about some bets?
Let's take a look at our betting record. It's okay. I'm not calling myself a professional. We just bet lunch money. We do not bet racks on racks on racks.
That's your season record, so you're a little under 50%. But as you inform me, you're plus in the money. You take
This
the odds
is
into account.
plus money. I've made the graphic in green because green is plus money. And this is plus money because there was, I'll do a round of applause for that. We out here getting money. We out here getting money. Well, we just barely, but that's week. Some of the slides, I didn't finish strong. I'll be honest. We started strong.
Leave the overall. There's a lot of red X's at the bottom, right? But that's all right. Look at all the greens.
And towards the end, like I said last week, I was doing too much studying. You ever did too
Get in
much
your head.
research. You
Get in
can
your
start, and I was trying to stick too much to a certain strategy instead of just, hey, this is my gut, man. I know this. I trust this. I'm gonna do this. In the beginning, a lot of that was just, I know this. There's no way. I didn't need to research and back it up. But then for validity for the show, I'm like, okay, I better do some research, and I'm checking this, and I'm checking that, and I'm going against public money, and this and that, and it is what it is. But we had 7 plus money bets, and one of them was a plus 325 money line. I'm super proud of that. That wasn't a
Browns
dart.
game, right? Is that
Yep,
the Browns?
that's the Browns game.
Everyone's like, man, Mike's over here off his rocker, and then they come out here and win. So
That was not a dart. I was confident in that. I was confident in the Bills over the Lions. That was a plus money game. I was confident 2 times in the Cowboys as underdogs. Very confident in those. I lost a couple plus money games too. But those you don't lose money on that. So if you did this as a typical bettor, who you bet your exact units, the exact same thing each time, you're up a little bit. You're up 2 or 3 units. We didn't make a killing this season. But we didn't lose any money. The record, even though the record is 2 losses, like I said, the plus odds saved me. So we're plus money for the year. I'll take it. Obviously, a lot of that was me, so you don't have to stand on that. You might be better than that. I honestly think Brian probably is better than that.
I don't know, man.
But
some
of that
a
was
couple
yours.
good ones, strong ones, and then I threw a couple out one show, lost them all. So.
We'll get better for next year, though. We know a couple betting professionals, and we're taking notes.
Yeah,
We're
you might
sitting
see
here.
some guests on the show next year.
We're sitting here taking notes from our betting friends, and we're figuring out how to getting better too. We know we're not going to lose money, but next year we making money. You follow this show next year, and we're going to be sitting in here together. So that's what we got. That's how we did for that fantasy show. Betting recommendations for the year. Like I said,
about week 18 NFL playoff implications.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I think you got a certain hometown team over there.
Whew. How about Jamar Chase, man? I am glad my team has Jamar Chase.
Yes, so if you're keeping up with the playoff picture in the NFL, you know there's a few things that haven't been decided yet. Number 1 is the 1 seed in the NFC, Detroit Lions or Minnesota Vikings. Loser gets the 5 seed
That's insane.
away for the playoffs with 14 wins. You're going to have a 14-win division loser on the road in the playoffs. They're going to be pissed. You don't want to take them at home. Might as well just give that ticket away.
How does that work in the second round? Would they be on the road too? Yeah, I guess they
Because
would be on
it's
the road
lowest
too.
seed.
Yeah.
The highest remaining seed would host.
So they're just on the road
Yeah,
throughout.
so we could end up with a rematch sooner than later between the Lions and Vikings, depending on how things play out.
Huge game tonight.
Lions or Vikings could also play the Packers again. One of these teams are going to be playing each other a third
Wow.
time. in
And
the
you love
playoffs.
that. It's week 18, and you love that there's still something going on. The NFC, obviously, that's huge implications. AFC, only the 7th seed up for grabs. There's some jockeying with the 5th and 6th seed. Chargers. The Chargers win. They're going to take that 5th seed, and they're going to send Pittsburgh to Baltimore for the playoffs. But if the Chargers lose, Pittsburgh are going to keep that 5th seed. They're going to play
Yeah,
Buffalo.
so AFC, you got a couple tiebreakers coming into account. So
Whew.
we got the Dolphins, Bengals, and Broncos all in on the race. We're looking at head-to-head, overall record, and conference records coming into play here. So Bengals, they're third on the totem pole, but they did what they needed to do to stay alive. They got the dub last night.
Big game last
Good
night.
game. The Steelers were eliminated from winning their division before the game on account of the Baltimore win earlier in the day, but there were still implications for the Bengals winning. So they went out there, got the job done. Now it's down to the Broncos and Dolphins. So Broncos win, they're in. No question. Broncos win or lose, next team up's the Dolphins because the Dolphins have the best conference record in this 3-way tie. However, if the Dolphins and the Broncos lose, the Bengals are in. So we'll be keeping an eye on the games today for that. We got a graphic here, so
If
you
these
Bengals fans are
teams-
rooting for Jets and, ooh, it hurts you to say Chiefs.
No.
Chiefs might be sitting everybody this
You know,
week too.
I've pretty much always been a Chiefs and Jets fan my whole life.
Okay.
I've never been against these guys. I can't believe I forgot to put my Chiefs and Jets jerseys on these walls this whole season. Oh my God, my apologies. I forgot, but me and all my homies love the Jets and the Chiefs. We're always talking about like Jets, Jets, and then we're always doing this tomahawk chop. Oh, so yeah, as long as, like we party today, we're in.
I'm clipping that for next year.
No, I got to be honest. I don't think we get in. I like to be realistic. And again, I've picked against the Lions a few times, even though I'm a fan. I don't think we get in. I think Denver wins today, and it's the obvious. The Chiefs are starting backups. However, I'm still going to root for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and pump the Chiefs up all day.
So
and
you're telling me there's a chance. That's all you need to hear.
Hey, I got a chance. And just like this show, dude, you give me a chance, and I'm going to see what I can do. So let's see what the Bengals can do. Honestly, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. They made too many mistakes early in the year. A couple missed kicks. There was some penalties that went against us that changed some situations. But there was some overall poor defensive play. We stuck with some veterans earlier in the season. Once we replaced them with some younger players, they started performing a little better. Overall, the defense isn't that great. However, if you watch the last 5 weeks, 5-game win streak, that's
we
a team
talked
that
a little last week. They probably shouldn't have won that one with the abysmal clock management. We talked about that in length. If you want to catch the recap of episode 17 of that fantasy show, it's on the YouTube. You can catch all of our archive episodes over there. Get
We're
some
out
views,
here.
help us out. Anywho,
we're out here.
let's talk about the Lions Vikings. I'm arguably the most important regular season matchup ever.
Huge game.
Want to hear some stats here? So
You were telling me.
each team is 14-2. That's a combined 28 win matchup, and
Okay.
the previous high was 25,
25.
and that was the 15-0 Patriots against the 10-2 or 10-5 Giants. So not even close. You got
Wow.
two 14-2 teams going head to head. All the marbles are on the table for the 1 seed and the bye in the playoffs. You skip over the wild card round straight to the divisionals. Man, and guess who's going to that game?
Are you going to that game?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's a blackout game. Motor City Muscle. That's the name of the.
They're wearing the black and those blue
They're
helmets.
wearing the black, and
Oh
apparently
my God.
Minnesota's. They're going to wear their iced out unis.
Okay, so that's going to be a good eyes matchup.
Yeah,
On your eye.
there's some crazy things going on for this game. Resale value. You're talking $500 just to get in the door at this point.
I couldn't even find a ticket available
No.
this morning.
It's insane. Apparently, the Minnesota Vikings organization bought up a bunch of tickets to resell the fans cheap, like front row type tickets. Like they're spending thousands of dollars on each ticket, giving away for a couple $100. I'm a little salty as a Detroit Lion, but I mean, you got to give them a little credit for helping their faithful out.
That's a wonderful organization. I'll give that organization a round of applause. We're not into burying people here. Obviously, we want the Lions to win.
Yep. No hand claps for the Vikings today, but that is a noble thing they
But,
did.
no-
Other organizations. should
No,
take
that's a
look at
great
that.
organization. They realize that people and fans, they should come first, man. And a
Absolutely.
lot of people get priced out of these games. I'll be honest. There's different levels of everybody. I'm priced out of NFL games. I'll go to 1 million baseball games. That's my bracket. But
I'll tell you though, being a season ticket holder has had its value the last couple of years. I'm paying less than $100 a game, and these things
Yeah.
are specifically in Detroit. They're reselling for triple their value, and that has kind of bit us in the own ass. The greed of the fans trying to sell them for so
Yeah.
much, and in part with the demand. Now the team's like, oh, I want to capture those funds, so they're like, I'm going to
Price
jack
went
the
up.
prices up. So, I'm not really reselling, making money off tickets. Some people are out there.
right,
That's just the nature of culture in the United States at this time.
price went up.
Scalping everything.
I'm hearing that a lot lately. Price went up.
Price went up. Yep. So
Our price gonna go up too. Don't worry.
Tell
We're gonna
me.
start getting better. We're gonna start needing a little more. Our price gonna go up too. Price gonna go up.
just telling you, the organization, they're taking advantage of the fans. I don't like it, but it comes back to the greed of the fans that are selling their tickets for so much. So
Yeah.
screw you guys.
Yeah.
You did this to us.
Yeah, and like I said, and then even concessions going to these games. A lot of time, like I said, they price fans out of this. I know a ton of people that don't go to live sports because like
Fucking
it just
a
costs too
big
much
beer is
for.
$15 at the game.
And
now.
you want to take a family? Like I said, we're family guys. You want to take your wife and 3 kids to a game. Tell me how much you spend.
gonna
And
be
you don't want to
preseason.
say no. And you don't want to say no to your kids.
No.
And they want stuff. They want these $13 pretzels with $2 cups of cheese that
Oh,
go with
man.
it. They want $8 pops, and we're probably going to drink 2 of those, and then we're going to buy a water too. You know, they price average fans out, so I like what Minnesota did and was like, hey, we need some support on the road. Help us out a little. You
Gotta
know,
wave the tail one more time.
but we want the Lions to win. We want everybody to have fun.
A charging team that will not yield.
Let's go
I'll
Lions.
save you for my singing voice for the rest of that.
Yeah, no,
But I know the whole song. I'll be singing it hopefully multiple times tonight.
no, I hope you guys have a
Haley
great
and
time
I.
tonight.
Really
Detroit,
good.
to me, Detroit's a good crowd. I've made it to a couple Lions games, though. It's a good crowd. Detroit's a fun city. I don't know. The city, being an outsider before moving here, this city had like a bad rap from an outsider's point of view. No, this place is wonderful. I go to all of these games as a visiting fan. Never had one problem. Never had one problem.
We're on the up and
So-
up. Let's keep it classy tonight, Detroit.
Yeah, I expect Detroit to keep it classy tonight. Big game, and even win or lose, wonderful season for the Lions.
Most
You
wins
yourself,
in
you're
history.
30s, whatever. I can't remember exactly how old you are, but you haven't seen a
30.
lot of this.
No,
You haven't seen a lot of this.
got my first playoff wins last season. We're looking to set that up again this year. We need to get the dub if we want to have some more home playoff games. So
Yeah. Congrats to the Lions, though. It's a great season. Everybody can't win a championship, but that doesn't take away from you shouldn't have fun enjoying your professional sports team. If the Jets and the Chiefs don't win today, I still had a pretty great season. I'm enjoying Joe Burrow, who looks like arguably top 3 quarterback. You can argue however you want. I'm going to put him in the top 3. And Jamar Chase, I'm going to put him at the number 1 receiver. You can argue that, though. I'd take a couple other guys, but
I bet he'll go number 1 in receiving next year.
Yeah.
In the
But,
draft.
but like I said, it's been a fun season for me. And a lot of people, when they watch sports, they take this to heart too much, where if their team can't win a championship, I didn't have fun and it wasn't successful.
Man,
No.
I waited my whole life just to get in the playoffs and get a win. So
So you want sports to be fun. If you're going to set everything up to I'm not happy if I don't win a championship, then you're never going to be happy. Teams don't win championships all the time. Make your
I tell you
happiness
what, if
small.
the Lions do win a championship, I got some receipts on people. I people committed to tattoos, cutting their leg off to go to the parade.
Dude.
That's somebody in our league.
Dude, I'll go to
have
that
ready.
parade. I'm going to be at that parade. I'll still wear a Bengals jersey that parade, just showing support.
I don't know if you remember, but in the old group chat when I used to be in it, Matt said if the Lions won a parade, he would cut his leg off.
Damn,
to go
so
to the
we're going to
parade.
have a peg leg friend. I can't wait. I'm so glad you saved that, too. I might give him a ring later and be
Yeah.
like, Matt.
We got a text message screenshot of you saying you cut your leg off to go to the parade.
Yeah. But anyway, like, I just hope people had fun and enjoyed the season. A lot of time it's, my time here. I've just been hearing same old Lions my time. And, and I work in a restaurant where
SOL.
I see
Shit out of luck.
people come in all the time and it's small talk. I get a lot of the average small talk from people, the weather, the sports teams, and
What's
this
the
and that.
weather
And
doing?
it's nice seeing the average Lions fan come in with smiles on their face. It's great.
It's gonna
Sports
be cold.
are
It's gonna be nipply. Funny story. Last year, the playoff game against the Rams, Puka Nakua thought it was outside.
fun.
It's a dome, FYI. The Vikings know they come there at least once a year.
Detroit don't play. They got a dome for football. They're not doing that.
It's gonna be a little
cold
chilly
stuff.
walking in, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I just went to a Pistons game the other day. We parked 3 blocks away, and the walk from the parking lot to the stadium.
Yeah,
I hated that part,
I'm
but
playing in the park Pistons side. Walk it over.
that's
Let's
pretty
see.
cool.
We gotta get down there early though, so we can have some time to relax, eat, drink. Hey, Pam from Red Robin. Heard she's working concessions tonight, so we'll run into
Hey,
Pam down
let's
there.
Go. She's closed with Steve before.
She's close with Steve. She knows what it's like. Shout out Pam.
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, so that fantasy show, we made it a whole season, bro.
Yep, 18 episode regular season. We're out here.
Stand
We'll be
on
back
my
for the
shield.
Super Bowl. We got a special name for it.
The Ultra Mega Super Bowl special.
Look it up. It'll be ready. Hey, hopefully we got some better hardware going. We can do some crazy nifty shit.
I
with
feel
our
like-
computer.
I feel like we're gonna be okay. I got a lot of faith. Faith gonna make you do some things that you may not see the end result. You just
Yeah.
gotta operate off your faith. Speaking of my faith, never thought I would get here. Wanted to get here. Week 18. I did a whole year.
Did it, man.
Did it, dude?
We learned a lot. I mean, there are ups and downs, technical difficulties. We got 4 viewers on right now, but we're
Not
aspiring
worried
for
about
more.
that.
We're aspiring for more. Tell your friends, tell your wives,
Yeah.
get the support out here.
We gonna grow. Again, this number or this show is probably not gonna do tons of views. Like I said, a lot of people they're done with fantasy for today, but we wanted to round out the season, let you know how Ella did.
We're gonna throw in some non-fantasy content, engage the other viewers.
Oh yeah.
So
I can't. The off season looks promising. The Ultra Mega Super Bowl special should be fun. It's no.
we could revamp the set for that one.
It's no Mega Bowl with semi-pro. We're not going to be wrestling live bears like Jackie Moon, but we're going to have a big show for that.
I'm gonna have fingers crossed. More Lions uniforms be hung up for that one.
Let's
We'll
go.
see. We'll see what happens.
Oh no, if the Lions are in the Super Bowl, I'll be suited out in some Lions stuff. I'm going to take my Barry Sanders. I think I'll wear my Barry Sanders.
I'll
off
rent
of
a
that.
goddamn Lions costume to wear if
Oh
they
my
made the
god,
Super
that
Bowl.
is awesome. Yeah, we're going to work something out. Obviously, the Super Bowl's going to be big, and there's going to be fantasy implications in that. And then, man, there is crazy betting going on for the Super Bowl. Besides just win or lose, who's going to win? I mean, I like to do, there's prop bets, but my favorite one is the over-under for the national anthem.
About 2 minutes usually.
I love that bet. And then
Coin toss. What
there's-
color Gatorade are they going to pour
that's a
on the
good
winning
one.
team?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Purple. Purple is always my favorite, but light blue, I would go second. And I like when they do prop bets that involve the halftime show. However, I may be
Oh, yeah.
skipping the halftime show this year. I'm not a fan of the performer.
Are we going to get a wardrobe malfunction or that's a once in a lifetime?
Again, for the first time in my life, I may be skipping that show. Again, these are personal views, and I'm not going to get into that. That's another.
How do you know who is the halftime?
That's for another podcast. I don't even want to say the name. That's how much I dislike this person, and
Okay.
not even gonna speak on that. You can do your own research,
Yeah.
Brian, or our viewers. But I may be skipping the halftime show this year. First time ever. I've never said that.
No.
I've watched everything, but I specifically,
Even the cringy Black Eyed Peas performance, that one was rough.
yeah, where there was malfunctions on that show too. Technological. Remember, half of the stage wouldn't light up,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
was supposed to light up.
Remember 50 Cent hanging upside down?
That was a good one too. And there's been some good halftime shows, and not to say this one won't be great. This is just
Hey,
my personal
we need to do
opinion.
a halftime show ranking.
Maybe we'll do the halftime show. We go
Yeah.
live at halftime. If you don't like that little fella like I don't like that fella, tune into that fantasy show.
Yeah, that fantasy show.
That's what I would do.
I don't know. Yeah, we gotta rank our favorite halftime performances. That's gonna be a ranking. We have multiple rankings on the show for the
Ooh,
Ultra Mega
I've
Super Bowl special.
Actually got content for that.
I know my number one already top of my head. I won't give it away. I
Yeah,
know my
let's
number
save
one is-
that. Oh, I know my number one too. That's great. Oh, that's good content. And I thought about doing, like I said, an eating contest. I can eat like the best of them, man. We could do something. Maybe we could raise a couple dollars for charity. I don't know. We'll work behind the scenes on that. We'll have a couple weeks for that. What is there, about 5-6 weeks from now to the Super Bowl?
About 4.5. So anyway, that's a season for you. That's a wrap of a regular season. We'll have off-season content. We're gonna hype the show. We're gonna work on our technical background here. What's going on? Make it look good for you. The content will be fire. I'll tell you that.
America, and not just America,
International.
since we're international, whole world, from the bottom of my heart, our hearts, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Couldn't be more grateful for every single view.
Thank you all. Signing off.